Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to a video of answering questions none of you had the insanity to ask for, but that's why you have me here. Today we're going to be answering the dumbass question of can you beat Assassin's Creed Mirage without taking any damage? Now, to start out, I basically can't take damage from combat or free running, which is going to be annoying, but not as much as you think. Also, I thought that this challenge wasn't enough because I thought I was great at video games, so I added a secondary challenge of I have to get 10,000 currency by the end of the run. And we start out by failing some pickpocketing. I eventually have to get some skills to help me out with this. Believe it or not, this is still the best way for me to make money, as I found out. It's just pickpocketing, but I just have to get good. Yeah, I tried to fight a guy as without anything. I've done it before, but not without taking damage, which led to my first reset. Unfortunately, I did not keep track of the total count. My bad. Back into the save. This part is really easy. It basically just you follow a guy into a building and then you take him down. And as long as you're not seen, the enemies won't even notice the fact that you took out their commander. It's really easy. And like this guy down here, you can also take him out. I some guy died. I guess he was important. I'm not entirely sure, but looks like we're in trouble now, right? Yeah, we're so in trouble. But see, luckily there's a path here that you just follow, and it gets you out for the most part. And again, as long as you keep moving, you're basically faster than all the guards. So, yeah, it's really easy at this point. Eventually, things will get a lot harder, but for now, you just run and you're fine. I decided to take a little bit of swim right before my training, and I knew exactly what I had to do to keep traditions alive. I killed some bunnies and another, and you best believe I killed that deer too. I did some rolling infinitely because I wanted to see how far that could go after I killed some more bunnies, or before. I'm starting to lose track, but this time I'm happy because I can use throwing knives, which are going to be essential throughout this run, because frankly, stealth is necessary for all of it. This fight was awful. I forgot how bad combat can be in this game, and I may or may not have taken damage on my first attempt, and a lot of attempts. Like, I'm not going to lie to you guys, I lost count after like 5, but this one spawned me in with the health loss, so that one didn't count against me, but yeah, I died a lot on this part. I think it was like in total 6 or 7. If I said maybe 3 or 4, I was probably wrong. Did some knocking out because, well, I wasn't given a blade to kill these guys with, even though there's one on my hip, probably. I think so. But that didn't last long because I did get into open combat, which scared me at first. But at this point, I had remembered that I'm a true god at gaming and the fact that this combat is really neutered down and simplistic. Ugh. As a reward for killing those guys in the name of our brotherhood, I decided to cut off my finger, and then finally, to another spar match where I can't tell you if I took damage, but I don't think I did. I finally arrived at Baghdad and was ready to teach my views of arson, murder, and murder. So yeah, you basically get to see that I have 92 at the moment, and selling is going to be essential, but I don't have a lot right now, so a lot of pickpocketing is necessary, and you will see it helps a lot. So back into the main game, you basically just sneak into a prison, and again, it's all stealth based, so as long as you keep things quiet, except for here whenever I did get caught, you're pretty fine, but unless if you're getting attacked by multiple enemies, the combat's really easy. I met with Beshi, who this time I wasn't in love with because I had the goal of building a harem, and that started by killing some guards. Again, the throwing knives just proved how necessary that they were to this run because on my last run, I could take damage, but I couldn't use any of my gadgets. Here, they're beautiful. Did some parkour, which was meh. I mean, alright, I guess. It's not as great as the Ezio trilogy, but what do I know? I had to break into a prison, and this was one of those annoying moments where I forgot that I can't take fall damage, so I jumped and I took damage. Lovely. Sneaking into the prison was another fun thing because, well, I had to figure out how to do it, and when I loaded back in, of course, it did it with the health bar askew. This happened only a couple of times, I don't know why. Sneaking into the prison was easy because I hired the guards, or not guards, I guess the rebels to break me in, and I basically just learned as long as I take my time and let them do all the work, I should be fine to enter the prison, but it did take a couple of attempts. Sneaking inside, however, was easy. You throw a throwing knife at one guy while he's distracted, you assassinate him because he's not ready. Yeah, I got caught on the inner courtyard, and see, these guys are annoying because you can only hit them in the back, and their allies do let them get hit. And you have to restart the whole fucking thing over. God damn it, this is so much more annoying than I thought it would be. Inside, I managed to finally see and free Ali, which was meh. I mean, he liked me and he offered to help me build my harem, but I didn't need him at all, so I kind of saved him anyway. Up on to the first target of luring Al Ghul, or whatever his name is. I think it's Raish or something. There's a lot of tactics you can use here, and I basically just kind of sat here for a little bit while I figured out what to do, because, I mean, what was I going to do? Get caught? No. Yeah, I kind of did, so I found a plan that I thought worked, and I basically just needed to blend, but not even I could mess this up. So, of course, I messed it up by exiting the group and not being able to enter in time before getting into combat, and you'll never guess that I would take damage eventually. And by eventually, I mean pretty damn fast. I did, however, manage to lure him out on my next attempt, and I did do the unique killing because, well, why not? It's basically guaranteed that they're not going to touch you if you do this method, which essentially is needed. By the way, I know y'all are thinking that joke, but there's no Catholics here, I think. I did gain the assassin focus, which, while overpowered, was allowed for the use of this challenge, which I love. I met back with Roshan, who basically told me that if I wanted to build my harem, I needed to take down more targets, and there were 3 optional places that I could go to, so I prepared myself for the mental battle that was to come. Unlocking a new tool was essential. Basically, the only ones I used were the smoke bombs or the blow darts, but, I mean, I'll tell you guys whichever one you think is the best. I think the smoke bomb. Did some more jumping and taking more damage, which of course I just loved. And I tried to jump onto this boat here, and I couldn't quite get it right because I'd seen a fun video of a guy diving onto the boat and failing, but I couldn't do that. But I jumped for it, and I barely made it, proving I'm a god. Anyway, I went back to the next bureau where I basically learned I had to go to fucking school, which was annoying. But you know what? I didn't have to take a test, so I was okay. I got lost and ended up in the death library. What's up? How's it hanging, guys? Okay, I'm sorry. I'll quit. Anyway, the library visit wasn't all bad because I did get to do a good bit of stabby without being seen. I followed this one guy to one of the hardest parts in the game, saw that there were like 3 people identical to him if you didn't notice. But here's why. I kept dying over and over again because I'm still not that great at open combat. That one pissed me off. But eventually I loaded in and they were all dead, but I had taken damage. Not accepting that, I managed to find the correct save, but even then I had to do this a couple of times and it took me about 5 minutes every time. So eventually I did manage to get it right and kill these guys, but then I got attacked again. This guy right here was just downright annoying. Eventually I managed to get them down and I just decided, you know what, I'm going to use throwing knives to kill as many of these guys as possible, because why not? This is why smoke bombs are essential. I can assassinate enemies versus open combat. And yeah, I don't know why I got killed by that spear guy, or damaged, I guess. I met with some mercenaries who I decided to hire in order to make them my acolytes. They failed me when I got damaged. When I loaded back in, I basically just let them have all the fun. I mean, they were beautiful. They were killing like no one's business. And I basically jumped in at the end to just steal the credit, because I should. I found all of these lootable items in a doctor's office, so you know this was going to help very so slightly to my 10,000. I tried to be cool, but ended up failing it, getting caught, and I probably end up getting damaged. I don't remember all this because I played this like a month ago, but I'm still not as good at open combat as I wish I was. Probably not enough to really be good. But on the second time, I was able to do it right, even though at this point it doesn't really look that cool. It's still weird because it all looks so glitchy and everything, but that's how Ubisoft for you. I managed to assassinate this doctor who was working without a license. He did not get a chance to get it renewed because I killed him, obviously. Escaping is pretty easy, even though, like, they still notice, like, hey, there's someone escaping. I managed to knock this guy out and then pickpocket him, and then I managed to pet a cat because, we all love going for that pussy cat. If you know, you know. But yeah, I needed a break from all this. I work too hard. Up on the rooftop, I got into a fight and I got damaged. On the second time I had to assassinate this person, I managed to just throw a smoke bomb, assassinate them, and then run. I met up on the roof where this guy basically told me my harem was looking impressive. I went in and tried to fight some chickens at this point, and I didn't even kill one of them, but I refused to let them escape, so I tried killing them and ended up almost actually killing myself on this run. Reloading a save, I tried to go back in and found that I was able to stand over basically air, which was scary, but you know what? We're here for it. I managed to become Batman when I killed this guy and declared that I would get justice for Baghdad. I mean, Gotham. One of the two. And I tried to run away because the game told me to, but then I realized no one's fucking chasing me, so that kind of took all the suspense away. I got into another fight out here, and then whenever I reset, I got damaged again. And then I finally just completed that one and met with someone else who basically is like, hey, we're stealing from the rich, which I loved. Basically, the bazaar was great, and I took a walk with my mentor. She basically told me my harem was impressive, but not enough, and I had not murdered enough people. That would change. I managed to kill these guys out here by just throwing a smoke bomb, getting two of them caught in the assassination, and then basically doing the same with the other group. It's not that hard, it's kind of cheating at this point. I found the Monastery of the Virgins, and by the time I left, this place was simply known as Monastery of the. Did some more assassinating with these guys, and yeah, that guy just floated for a minute. It was kind of funny, I swear to God. I did some more sneaking around a warehouse for some reason. I can't remember why, because I haven't been paying too much attention to the story. I got stuck on this part again with more glitches. I swear to God, this is supposed to be a AAA title. What the hell? I managed to find a child who I would claim as my acolyte eventually when he was old enough to murder. He seemed to survive a jump, but it definitely took him a while, so I called him a pussy. That motivated him, and like I said, he jumped. I think he survived. I don't know. I didn't stay. I killed this one group whenever I used the focus again, trying to be super cool. And again, guys, this is borderline cheating. I mean, look at this. I basically turned a possible mini boss fight into a tap and then I win. He didn't even have a chance. I met with Roshan, who said that my murder was now enough to sneak into the auction. But she told me, remember, to support your harem, you need money. And you need money so you can also get more bitches. And get more bitches, I shall indeed. And I tried with Ning. I went to this auction and didn't bet any of my money because I knew I could just steal it and I didn't want to waste any of the money because I already at this point didn't have a lot because I kind of put this one on track for now, but eventually I did get to work. I killed Ning, and what's funny enough is she tries to fight back, but she fails pretty spectacularly. The guards took me a couple of attempts because I couldn't get the prompt to assassinate them, which was kind of annoying. And then whenever I finally did, got slashed mid animation. And on the second time, I actually managed to kill all of them correctly. This one guy tried to evade me, and I decided not a smoke bomb, but a blow dart. And I missed. Not once, not twice, as you'll see, but about 3 shots it took to take this guy down. I don't know how he was doing that. I met with this guy who basically told me I've been drafted for war. Woohoo, war crimes! And I basically started by just throwing a guy in a river. I wanted to drown him, but apparently he had information, so I kinda had to keep him alive for a moment. He would die someday. Didn't matter if it was by me or not, but he would hate me. I got stuck on another thing, which just proves why the fuck is there so many glitches? Ubisoft, what the hell? Even Revelations didn't have this many. I did a really sick ass backflip in an attempt to save this run from all of its failure. I did some fighting against snakes, which was semi-annoying, but bearable, mainly because there's 3. I also killed another bunny, and I chased down more because, well, I needed the good luck, and I couldn't take the rabbit's foot, but that wouldn't stop me anyway. These bunnies chose death by existing. I took another fight where, again, Ali and his troops are going to do most of the work, so basically you just go in and I can use the focus, but I did die a few times, and then it took me a while to get it nailed down. Eventually, with this one, where I killed the boss with the last one, and then let Ali's men finish off the rest. I pet another cat because, again, this had all been very stressful and very, very annoying. Sorry. I swam with the fishies, and I don't know if you can tell this one, the big one here. I named him Mark, and then suddenly Mark vanished. Like, what the fuck? Where'd he go? Seriously. I snuck into a meeting between 3 guys where basically I had to assassinate the guy in the middle, and yeah, again, I just used the focus. I mean, it's not like I'm going to use any different tactic here. I mean, some of you may call it cheating, but I'm like, why risk having to do this all again versus I can just use focus and get it done with? This part was hard because I got caught a couple of times, which basically led to me taking damage or me spending 5 minutes running away from an army and then taking damage. There are different layouts. Eventually, I did manage to get the one guy on his own after setting his ships on fire. I threw an oil jar at him thinking that would work. It didn't. For some fucking reason, it didn't work. The other oil jar blew up, and well, I basically just hid until I could air assassinate him. Wasn't worth open combat. Ali, however, decided he wanted to break into a prison and kill this guy named Wasif, or as we call him, Waffles. And Waffles apparently is a warlord, so yeah, he has to die for existing, I guess. I don't know. Again, I've lost the plot at this point. Sneaking in was pretty easy because there's a giant fucking hole in the wall. Like, seriously, who builds a wall if there's going to be a hole in the wall? Trump would be disappointed. And I did get caught here. By the way, no one come after me for my political thing. I'm not talking about political beliefs and I'm making things worse just by sputtering, but you know what? It's me. I arrived at this gate where I was ready to go, but I had things to do first. I had to get into a fight with this one guy because he saw me and existing is illegal. I did this really cool ass, sick ass backflip. I don't know what I'm saying anymore, but you know what? I wanted to do it again, so I did it again. It's pretty fun in my opinion. So, the next part was saving Ali and fighting other guys. Smoke bombs are great, and here's the thing that I'm not liking. The main guy that we're here to kill, Waffles, Ali is supposed to take the credit for killing, but I made sure to have fun with it. I started out by killing the guards who were running away. They would have lived if not for me, but they did not deserve life. And then I got into a boss battle against this guy in open combat, which was just downright awful. Why? Because none of my gadgets worked and it took forever to beat him. He has a lot of health and my weapons do little damage. I definitely failed here a couple of times, but if you just wear him down enough and poison him, then it should be fine. But yeah, Ali still somehow gets credit for the kill, which I'm fine with, because he offered to build up my harem by giving me 3 more bitches. And no, I don't actually have a count anymore. I did some more zipping around the city, I was just living life, man. Jumping around, hooking onto zip lines with my fancy ass hook blade and my cool armor, catching myself on a fence. Wait a minute, this is the wrong fucking game, isn't it? God damn it, this is a good Assassin's Creed hit game. I can't speak anymore. You know what? Maybe I'll play this, maybe I won't. Back at Roshan's, it was finally time to begin the final little bit of questing. Before anyone asks about the randomness of what I'm saying and the possible gaps, I don't use a script because, well, I don't know if I'm going to hate or love it whenever I actually make it, and I'm bad at remembering stuff. I talked to a poet whose protective family member or guardian or boyfriend, I don't know what this guy was, but basically he sicked some guards on me, which was really, really fucking annoying. The combat gave me another taste again, and eventually by this point I had gotten good at it until I took damage again. But on the second time through, it was pretty easy. I mean, again, you just basically poison them and let that do all the work. Made it easier. I walked into the harem where I was going to get more bitches, but I had an investigation to do first. This guy tried to stop me, which didn't work. After some snooping, this one girl that I had met basically made me an accomplice in her murder of someone else. Don't be wrong, I would have been proud, but murder without consent is not a good thing. I wanted to kill her, but I couldn't. But I only murder when I want to. Get it right. I found my way to this courthouse prison thing. I'm still not entirely sure what it is, but everything was going well until it didn't. I got back into open combat and got slashed. Had to do the entire thing over again, which was really annoying. Ugh, hiccups. Excuse me. Had to talk with this governor who betrayed our cult. And then Roshan tried to take credit and basically wanted to take out the final member, even though I was the one who had done everything. But I managed to seduce her and add her to my harem. But I needed more, and more I would get. I basically got slashed a couple of times going in, but it wasn't too bad overall. I made the son tell me where his mom is so I could seduce him and add her to my harem. I don't know why I said him, but we just roll with it here. Before she could officially join my harem, you'll never guess what happened. Yeah, she was killed by Roshan, who had realized what I was doing and grown jealous of the fact she was not my top bitch. And she also believed I was lying to her, which was really, really fucking annoying. I had to do like 3 hours straight of just walking in circles around the bazaar, pickpocketing people, which took forever. But eventually, I did get 10,036 coins, which here's the thing, there's a silver trophy on the PlayStation for this for getting 3,000. So 10,000 is a hell of an achievement. And I basically just assassinated a lot of people back at our home, got into a small fight, easy, easy stuff at this point. And then eventually got slashed again, reloaded a save, found this guy who was just standing here. I don't know what he was doing, but I couldn't kill him. So I left him. Got into a fight with Roshan because she threatened to kill me over the fact that I don't know what was in here and the fact that my harem had grown too powerful. Here's the thing, I already knew what to do in this fight, because you have to throw a throwing knife at her, but unfortunately she threw one at me first. And this time I used a smoke bomb to blind her, and then I pulled out the throwing knife, which worked wonders. And then the next part of this fight isn't really too bad again. I mean, I really don't think I messed up on this part of the fight either. I think like this was the only one reset fight that I had. But you basically just parry her or you dodge her and then hit her a few times. The only reason this fight takes so long is because she's got a lot of health and my weapons don't do great damage, but also smoke bombs or anything don't work on her, so I basically had to be good at the game in order to survive. The stamina bar was also pretty annoying, but you know what? We roll with it. Somehow. Eventually, I did manage to whittle her health down, and you'd be surprised. Even though she has a sword, once you take out her dagger, she loses all of her ability to fight, and then she basically just loses. So I sentenced her to a fate worse than death. She was kicked out of my harem and basically scarred for life. No woman or man would ever love her again. Again, I don't know her sexuality, but I didn't want to kill her this time. I managed to find the truth, and that truth is shocking to even me. My imagination is so strong because it turns out Nehal, or the friend who had been with me, was all imaginary. I don't, again, it's all very confusing, but basically, my imaginary friend throughout my whole life, it was some complicated, and I managed to beat Assassin's Creed Mirage without taking any damage. And if you want a rough estimate of how many resets it took, I'd say within the 30s, maybe low 40s. Again, I don't really know. I kind of played through all like part of this, took a break, and then finished it out. But yeah, hope y'all enjoyed the video.